My name is Miguel Ángel Rondon. I'm studying modern languages at the Arturo Michelena University. And today I am going to explain what I learned in the subject Business English this semester at the university. I'm going to start by business. The first thing we learned in this semester was business. And business is an enterprise that identifies, anticipates, and satisfies the needs in a company. Then we have business management. What is business management? Well, business management is an ongoing process that involves the four major functions of management. And who do the business management? Well, the managers. And they have to do these four major functions. The first one, which is planning, and the most important four major functions, it's divided in strategic planning, short-term plans, long-term plans at the company. Then we have tactical planning, which it's about 2-3 years, a process of planning of something inside of the company. And then we have operational planning, which are the activities that we have to do day-to-day activities inside of the company. Now I am going to explain one by one the four major functions. I already explained planning. Now I am going to explain organizing, which is about the task allocation. We have to study about what we are doing right now inside of the company. This process involves about I know it's redundancy, but it's about organizing everything that we have to do in the company for making it real. Then we have leading, well, managers, of course, are really important inside the company, so they have to be really good leaders for being an example to their co-workers or employers. And the last one, which is controlling, is about the conclusions. In this case, we got a summary about the work we did and or the work we are doing right now. So in this case, it's just about the conclusions, if the work was a really good result or not. Now I am going to explain communication. What is communication? Well, communication is a process of interactions which involves symbols, incorporates expressions. When I said symbols, it's because, well, the communication could be oral, the communication could be written in codes and meanings. Then we have corporate communication, and I think it's the most important thing, it's corporate communication. I remember this because of the example about the class, about the case of these people, about the capes, how a manager tried to persuade their employers, and how these people have a positive or a negative response at the time to do the job that the manager are telling them to do. Now, if you want, well, I think the 80% of the communication, I think not, it is just a fact that 80% of the communication is just corporate. So at the time that you communicate something, you have to be coherence, you have to be credibility, you have to have credibility and ethics actually. Now I am going to explain something related with communication too, which has to do with constitutive view and informational constitutive view. There are two ways of communicate our demands in a company. In the case, if you are a manager, maybe, then we have the first one, which is basic information sharing, which is about emails, memos, small talk, or phone calls. It's just the way that you have the tools that you have for you to send the message inside of the company. Then we have the constitutive view information sharing, which is about negotiating and persuading others. It's a job that managers have to do inside of the company, persuading and negotiating. It's really important thing. Now we have another thing really important that we learned this semester. To me, it was professional communicative competencies, which are 6 competencies, really important competencies, and I'm going to explain them one by one. The first one, which is to progressively acquire native English proficiency. It is just a fact that many people is native English speakers. So this is our treat, our deal. We have to deal with these people at the time to think with jobs, so they get an advantage that they speak the English pretty fluently, pretty good. So we had to work in our English. We have to know about the language that we had to do inside of a company. We have to improve our English for being at least similar in a 60% like these native English co-workers or employers. Then we have the second one, which is to learn key business concepts. When to learn key business concepts, we have to know about the vocabulary that we have to use inside of the company. We have to know how to communicate with our employers, with our co-workers, with these people which are in the same environment that we are working every day. So it is pretty important to take into account the vocabulary that we need to know in the environment that we are working. It could be, well, any kind of vocabulary, but that depends on the environment or the kind of job you have. Then we have the third one, which is about improve public speaking skills. It's not a secret that a manager have to do trips, have to negotiate with people, have to make relations with another company. So it is really important the way that you communicate with people. If you are afraid of speaking English and if you are afraid of communicate your messages with people, you are not able. Jesus Christ, I have to be honest, but you are not able to keep the job. So you have to improve your speaking skills. So for you to persuade, yes, and for you to convince people about the work that you had to do. Now we have the fourth one, which is sharpen sound business judgment. In this case, I'm going to mention something really important that I learned in this competency, which is the case method, which describes real challenges and existing business models. It is just about that. Then we have the fifth one, which is challenge critical thinking. Well, you have to read every day. You have to prepare yourself for what you are doing, not just about what you are going to do in the future. No, you have to prepare yourself about the information that you are handling inside of a company. You have to learn about it. You have every day to keep yourself practicing, because it's really important at the time for you to keep a deeply conversation on a I don't know how to say this, but a really formal conversation with your co-workers and employers. You have to know pretty good the subject, the topic about what you are working inside of the company. Then we have the sixth one, which is about expand the quantitative and skills in data. Well, it is a phrase that it calls my attention, which is really good at the beginning of this competency, because it's real. A person with an opinion is just something, because a person without the data is just another guy with an opinion. So you can, maybe you know how to speak in English, you can speak English pretty well, but if you do know this topic, and if you do not know in the environment is and the tools that you need to know and the tools that you need to use inside your environment of the world, you are another guy with an opinion. You are an empty person, because, well, yes, I know how to speak in English, but I don't know pretty well the information that I have to share with my people, with my co-workers, with my employers, which is pretty bad. So you have to know pretty well about what you're talking with these people. In this case, well, the people inside of the company you're working right now. Now we have something pretty good which calls my attention to this semester, which is the Aldi's marketing mix, which is based in four really good objectives that Aldi's have in their company. The first one, which is pricing. Well, pricing, when you got an idea and you want this idea this idea will be real in the future, you have to make a price. You have to think about, well, what is the correct price for you to sell this product to another companies and for convince the people to buy my product. Well, price, the first one. Then we have the place. We need a place to produce the product. A really good place, I don't know, in the downtown of the city. It could be a really good place. We need a really good space which is able to support everything related with the space in our ideas and the matching tools that we need for making true the things that we need to do about this product. So the place is an important, it have to be a safety place.